Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast. I am Miss Nicole, just a regular average woman just like yourself, looking for some good advice, looking for someone to give it to you raw and uncut. I am that lady. I'm just like you. I've been through some things. I've learned some things. I know what works, what doesn't work. So please allow me to provide you with some of my wisdom, and I hope that I'm able to be a blessing and educate you in some different things that you might not be aware of, you know. So having said that, I just want to first say thanks so much for tuning in, and joining in with me today. So what I want to talk about is the development of a woman. Okay, as a female, we go through phases in our lives, and each phase there are very important fundamental and steps that we have to cover in order to meet our growth and to turn out properly as a quote unquote proper woman. And a lot of steps gets overlooked, and when those steps are overlooked, we fall short in different areas in our life. Like, I can tell you that when I was in school, I remember the day that we were supposed to learn about our left and our right, and I was absent that day. So I really never learned, until later on, the trick to remembering my left from my right, because I didn't learn it in school and my mom didn't teach me. So that's like a small thing, but to this day, that's something that's still, that I'm aware of. You understand what I'm saying? So when we grow and when we're developing as women, it's a lot of cultural things that we've lost along the way through generations of women who decided that they're going to live their best life and do things the way that they want to do it. So basically, every generation just keeps rewriting things to fit them and to make things out to be what they think is important and make things be what they want it to be. And severely, that is the problem. Because a lot of things don't work. A lot of things should have been thrown out in the bathwater a long time ago. But we continue to pass it on and promote it like it's real and it's positive and it's cute, and it's not. I don't even know no other way to say it. A lot of stuff we just own a bag that ain't even meant to be got. We chasing this bag that's just not meant to be chased or got. I mean, how can we really look at ourselves in a mirror as just a female? We claim to be Mother Earth and the goddess and all this, but how can you really say that you're a goddess when you don't have no shame or no morals or no respect for yourself? You don't have no skills. You common. I could I could put a handful of rice in my hand and hit 25 women that think just the way you do. So what makes you special? Because you can dress up in a pretty, put on your Instagram and your Facebook pictures and all like that. Because you could take a pretty picture when you got your flexing suit on. I'm telling you, it's we got a twisted sense of what's right and what's wrong. And it's to our downfall, because it makes us look foolish as women. The women are supposed to be wise in their own ways. We are supposed to know the game. We are supposed to learn and pick up on the game when we young. But the problem is, ain't nobody teaching us the game, because they want to keep you in the dark while you're growing up, so you won't be aware of all the sneaky, underhanded things that they've been doing. That's how our parents was. Any little sneaky thing that they did or that they was up to, they ain't want us to know, so they just hid it from us and lied to us the whole time about everything. So, I mean, if you really think about it, there is no way that you should be able to be 17, 18 years old and can't cook, because you grew up with the mother. That's part of the woman's housely duties. How is it possible that you can't cook and you out on your own free? How is it that you don't know the basics of how to take care of yourself during your period, how to relieve your cramps and relieve your bloating naturally and do things to make yourself feel better. How is it that you don't know these things? It's because nobody taught them to you. When your mama was supposed to be teaching you these things, she didn't learn them things from her mama, and she didn't bother to educate herself to find out how either. So a lot of this has caused us to have a lot of holes in our personality and who we are as people. You know, and unfortunately, it's our kids who suffer through all this. Your kids shouldn't have to suffer through you growing up and learning the facts of life. Your kids shouldn't have to suffer through all that. You know, because you have an obligation that once you start having kids, before you have kids, you have to prepare mentally for that. A lot of you are very selfish. You'll choose to bring a child into this world knowing that you don't even have a place to bring your child home to. If that ain't one of the most selfish things I've ever seen, I don't know what is. You know? And I mean, it's come to the point where, like I say in the beginning, when you were at home with your mom, you know, before, when you start turning, from the moment you turn 13, you should have a broom in your hand and learning what it means to become a young lady. Okay? You shouldn't be dressing all provocatively with tights on. That's the first thing y'all do wrong. When your girls is little, your child should not have no damn tights. Your daughter should always have on a long skirt. If your daughter have on a long skirt or dress, men will not be staring at your daughter because she will be covered up. Your child should not be walking around with her booty sticking out and her little buds growing in and everybody in her face because everything she got on the skin tight. Just because you do it, that don't mean that they should do it. You have to teach your kids modesty. But in order for you to teach your kids modesty, you have to believe that modesty is the best policy. And let's be clear, our uniform is a pair of tights where everybody can see your vagina, everybody can see your behind and your thighs and everything else. And then you expect somebody to respect you. It does not work that way. Respect is not given to anybody who exposes their body first. If you coming at a man with tights on, yeah, you good for some sex. And even at the gym, there is modest apparel that you can work out in the gym and still feel confident and comfortable. You don't have to wear the tightest thing that you got in the gym. That stuff should be for the house. That stuff should not be out in the streets. Half naked with a bodysuit on, all that's for the house. And I'm telling you, when you going out here with these clothes on, ain't no man respecting you. Ain't no man respecting you. Ain't no man gonna deal with you. Ain't no man gonna take you seriously when you walk up to him with skin tight clothes, fake eyelashes, and a wig on. Ain't nobody paying you no attention. Cause that's just not how it goes. See, back in the days, that was that whole stuff. See, that's what hoes did when they was getting ready to go out to get their drugs and turn their tricks and make their money. They get dressed up, they put on their wig, they put on their eyelashes and their makeup and get their pocketbook and their heels and their little freakum dress, and they go out to the club and they go get their thing on. But see, now y'all take that Monday through Friday. See, that just used to be a Friday, Saturday kind of thing, because that's when they turn up and do their thing. But see, y'all turned it into a Monday through Sunday. Every day you got this fake stuff on, looking busted, looking crazy, got all your hair ripped out, looking a mess, you know? And it's because you've missed so many milestones in your life that you don't even realize, like, you don't even know that really you are a whore. Unfortunately, like, you've picked up all the whore qualities. And it's nothing cute about that. That's why men feel like there's no women out there to be married, because you women don't believe in modesty. The last thing that a man wants to do is to have to compete with another man about his woman and his woman goods. Your man don't want to have a conversation with you about, now that we together, you need to put some clothes on. You should automatically know that. But because you've been indoctrinated in hoism, you don't know that. You don't know that. You think that it's my body, I can do what I want. No, it's not about your body that you can do what you want. You can do what you want, but are you ready for the outcome? because your man is going to feel like, well, she ain't keeping none of that for me. She give it to everybody. Everybody can see what she working with. That's not cool. It's not sexy, and it ain't lit. If you want a man to own you and to wife you and to care about you, then you need to give him something worth wifing and protecting and loving and respecting. Ain't nobody gonna respect you on that level. Sorry to tell you that. I know your mama told you that, but you have no idea what it takes to really keep a man happy because you have not seen that. I have. Please listen to what I'm saying. I understand. I respect the man. I'm not nobody doormat, and I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And I can tell you, you can be happy too. So right now, of course, y'all hear this train coming, so we'll be right back. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast. I am that lady, Miss Nicole, coming at you today, humbly and just appreciative of you tuning in. I know you might not like the words that I say, but trust me, all the words that I'm saying is coming from a good place. I truly have your best intentions at heart, and it's just time that we grow up so we can change, y'all. I mean, that's just all it is. I've been putting out videos and trying to, just put out the truth since for really my whole life, just trying to be positive and steer women in the correct direction. You know what I'm saying? You got this is your life. Just like you said, this is your life. You can live your life however you want to, but you cannot put yourself in a box that you created all on your own and think that that's who you are. There are already, the boxes have already been set before you even came on this earth. The box has already been set up for the category that you're going to fall into in life based on your actions. So you got women who are marriage material, and you got women who are not marriage material. You got women who are just strictly baby mamas. You got women who are just just straight, not even able to deal with the man. So there are different categories already, and the fact that society continues to push us forward, we've broken things down into even more categories, because now we have toxic women, and now we have baby mamas. So on top of the marriage material, now you have to sort through: are you a baby mama, or are you thought, or are you what are you? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't make the rules. I just want you to know these rules been around for a long time, and I've always known the rules, and I thought that the rules was known to everybody. So you really can't turn that 304 stuff into being a woman, because it has nothing to do with being a woman. A woman is not about who can get dressed up the prettiest and take the most Instagram videos and photos and stuff like that. That's not, a woman will be known by her works. A woman is known by her works. What kind of works do you do? Are you a humble woman? Are you a loud, obnoxious tyrant? Are you a bully? Are you toxic? I mean, a woman is going to be known by her works. And a lot of you haven't even stepped up to become a woman for your works to be known. That's why a lot of y'all don't know what direction y'all going in, or where y'all this and that. You just confused. You just know I needed to go to school. But other than school, you really don't have no plan. And that's a problem. Other than school, you really don't have no plan about being with nobody. You don't even know how to be with somebody, because the fact that you went to school and you get a check now, you feel like that changes who you are. Your money ain't got nothing to do with anything. Period. Because you ain't giving nobody shit. So I don't know why you think a man gonna be pressed about your dollars, because you very stingy with your money. And y'all totally make it about the dollar at the end of the day. Well, I want to have my money and my money and my money and my money. And I totally understand wanting to have, some change for yourself to do some things you want to do. But a lot of y'all just splurge on foolishness. And you hate for a man to tell you, no, don't do that. Y'all hate structure. You hate order. So therefore, it's easier for me just not to even deal with a man, so I can buy me a Birkin bag and some Gucci pocketbooks and some go to Cabo and travel all around the world, because ain't no man gonna tolerate me doing that. So I just stay single and do that. Well, you have what you say. Because if that's your priority and you don't believe that, any man you deal with is gonna be order. I'm telling you, any man you deal with is you're gonna have to have some kind of order about yourself. Because men are not real, all men are alpha. Well, okay, there is a step down from alpha males. I have to say that, because I find that men who speak against men empowerment to a certain degree is kind of beta-ish to me. Because, brother, if somebody, just like with the women, if a woman's speaking about women empowering one another, most of the women is behind them. And even some of the men out there supporting them. But as soon as the men start trying to empower themselves, the women have something to say, and even the own men from your own crew have something to say. When it's like, damn, brother, haven't y'all been down enough? Aren't you tired of being stepped on? Aren't you tired of just being known as a baby daddy? Nothing you ever do is ever good enough for these women. And we ladies made it that way. Y'all act like nothing a man do is ever good. But this is what I'm saying. What have your father done for you? What did your father do for you back in the day? Did your father give you anything? Did he look out for you in any way, shape, form, or fashion? And if he did, then you have an obligation to find at least a man to meet you on the level that your father has you comfortable. But what is it that makes you think that you are so valuable because you can beat your face and put on a $300 lace front wig, like that raises your value? Don't none of that stuff raise your value. Don't none of that stuff raise your value. If anything, it lowers your value because you got a costume on. A man want to see what he getting and who he getting it with. He want to know that he got somebody that's cooperative, funny, loving, caring, that's got a good head on her shoulder, and open-minded. An open-minded woman could deal with any type of man. An open-minded woman could deal with any type of man, because the open-minded woman understands, number one, that this man has been living life before me. He's been living life before me. So he got his own story. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut up and I'm going to listen to his story. I'm going to hear what he got to say. I'm going to understand. I'm going to put myself in his situation and see how I would feel about that. I'm going to respect his pain. I'm going to respect his pain. I'm not going to throw none of this shit that he telling me up in his face, because I want him to be able to feel like he can talk to me. I'm not going to put none of my feelings on nothing that he's saying, because it has nothing to do with me. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to take all that in, and I'm going to process it. And through taking all that in, processing it, and understanding it, I'm going to understand who this man is and what he needs from me, and who I can be to him. I'm going to find out how I can get in and fit in on his program through listening to what he say. But see, a lot of y'all don't have that listening capabilities, because you like to talk more than you like to hear. You should be a good listener. Learn to be a good listener, because through your listening and through your hearing, you can learn. You can learn a lot of things. A lot of things that you don't pick up with your eyes, you can pick up with your ears. But you can't really pick up nothing if you're talking all the time, because you miss everything, because you're running your mouth too much. That don't do nobody no good. So, like I told you, at this time in our lives, we have to really get serious about what it is that we want. A lot of us entering in our 30s and our 40s and 20s, and we still playing stupid games like we just got all this time in the world. We got multiple bodies under our bag, and we still running around here like we sweet and smell good. Nah, you stink. You stink. Ain't nothing sweet and ain't nothing smelling good about you these days. Because when that attitude bad, everything about you is bad. When your attitude bad, ain't nothing good about you. Nothing. Not even your cooter. Don't nobody want that thing. Because it's bad right along with you. I'm telling you, for real. You know? And you got to really believe that. You got to really focus on learning how to love something outside of what makes sense to you. You know? Understanding that people have their stories and people have issues and problems when they growing up just like you did. People got their story to tell and they want to tell their story and they want to be heard and they want to be respected for what they're saying. That's how our men are. Our men need to be heard because they suffered a lot too. You understand? You don't even understand the depths of how our men's spirit have been broken, you know, just by society and by the things that, you know, the external factors, you know. So, I mean, and I know some of you don't even really care, but we're going to get into that after these messages from our sponsor, which I greatly appreciate. Thanks so much for sponsoring my channel. All right, and then welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast. So I am that lady, Miss Nicole, just a normal average woman just like yourself coming at you today. Now, I'm going to tell you something that you might not understand, right? The most tenderest bond in the world is between a mother and her baby. A mother and her baby, the tenderest bond. That's all that baby knows in the world is you. That baby is going to get everything it needs. Only knows you. Only knows you. You've been carrying the baby for 10 months. That baby knows you, loves you, hears your voice, responds to you, eats what you eat for 9 months, 10 months, right? And when that baby is born, the baby is innocent. You know, you love the baby loves you. Tender, just loving, the baby smiling and walking, and you share all these baby milestones. Baby just tender, just loving, it just love you to death, right? Now, two things happen. The first thing is, I'm just going to speak the situation about a single mother, okay? You single mother, the first thing you out there. You know, you done had the baby walking, the baby fine, you ready to go back to doing you. Because you ready to find you somebody. You ready to get straight again. You want to go have some fun. You tired of being at home. You. Right? This everything right now is about what you going through. Okay? So, where does that leave baby? Where does that leave baby? If baby needs you, baby is all, you are all baby knows. You are everything to baby. Where does that leave baby if you thinking about yourself and wondering what you gonna do and how you gonna you? Where does that leave your children? When you at work all day and you giving you out and you doing you, what is going on with your children? What are they learning? Who are around them? What is being done to make sure that they're successful and they don't have to go through the same mistakes and issues that you went through? Who is looking out for them? See, that's what we don't think about. We don't think about that. And through us not being there for our kids, we let them down and we put them through a lot of unnecessary shit that they shouldn't have to go through. That fucks them up when they getting into their adulthood. They already jacked up because we set it up that way. And then we wonder why our sons don't lack motivation. We wonder why our daughters don't have no respect for us and want to fight. Because we set shit up like that. Thinking about ourselves. If you thinking about you, who thinking about the kids? Your kids not alright if you're not around. You should just assume that. If you're not around, don't assume that your kids are alright. And the first thing you ladies say was, I love my kids. If you love your kids, you wouldn't think about yourself. You wouldn't think about you. You would think about from the moment that you found out you pregnant, your whole life would be just about that child. And making sure that child has what they need, making sure that child never wants for anything, making sure that child is the best. If you had love for it. But see, a lot of us, we was raised with no love. See, our mamas did us the same way. She going out every Friday and Saturday night. We got to eat hot dogs for dinner while the boyfriend eats steak. We got to watch our mama be physically abused and beat up from her boyfriend. Or we got those mamas that just worked all the time and they had no time for us. Like, the stories don't change. The mamas who was whorish and left us unattended, so we got violated. You know, it's only a few. It ain't a whole lot of good mamas out there. It wasn't a whole lot of good mamas. I didn't have a good mama. I had to learn what I had to learn through, not only through watching her make mistakes and learning what not to do. You know, but I had friends, and I learned by dealing with men. You know, but the one thing that I pride myself on is that you have to have an open mind when you out here in these streets, because, man, people been through some shit. People been through some shit, and they need understanding. And anybody that you want to deal with on a personal level, man, you're gonna have to give them credits, unlimited credits, like the Pac-Man game. When you put the cheat code on the Pac-Man game, and they give you like unlimited lives, you gotta start being more like that with these men. You gotta give them unlimited lives, because, I mean, what's the alternative? How you gonna raise 3 children in a house with three different daddies, or 2 different daddies? Of course, one kid daddy gonna be better than the other one, and now the kids with the bad daddy mad at you and mad at the other kids who got a good daddy. You see how confusing that is? But see, we don't even think about that, because that's just like normal programming to us. From the moment that you decide that you're gonna spread your legs and allow a man to put his penis inside of you and pee, for the lack of a better term. Shout out to you know who said that. I'm not even calling out the names, but once you allow him to, you know, do his thing without any protection inside of you, you end up pregnant. Like, you have an obligation to bow down and try to make things work with this dude. Period. Because who else are you really going to be able to trust around your kids? If you're not able to trust him, then I do not suggest that you get pregnant from him. If you're not able to trust him, you know, I suggest that you learn how to manage your fertile cycle. Learn to manage your fertility levels, because we are the gatekeepers of this pregnancy thing. And if you monitor your cycle correctly, you can avoid getting pregnant. It's real simple. Real simple. But it's not that simple, because, you know, we ain't learned how to do it yet, despite technology, you know. But we don't care, because, like I said, we'll have kids and we'll get these Section 8 houses, and we think we coming up. My baby, your kids, your family is not worth a Section 8 house. Okay? Your family is not worth the Section 8 house. Your family is not worth you putting Mr. Charlie and y'all business down there at that place that's gotta steal all your man money and all that there. It ain't worth it. You know, at the end of the day, you laid down with this man. You should have thought about what kind of father he was gonna be to his kids, or whether he even wanted kids, before you even had them. And some of y'all already know what the fuck it is. You already knew what it was before you messed with them. And now afterwards, now you want it to be something that it just can't. You can't turn a prince into a frog. I know the cartoons say you can, but you can't. You know? Just like he can't turn no loose booty freak into no good housewife. Ain't gonna happen. You know? It just ain't gonna happen. I told you, you got to learn to give people a pass on their life. You got to stop adding to these been stress levels. When you see a man, if a man has multiple baby mamas, why is it that all of y'all got to get together and drive him crazy? Do you think in any way, shape, form, or fashion that's going to benefit you and your kids? Hell nah. Hell nah. Why do you have to be the butthole with the other baby mamas? Why can't you be the pillar of rest for him? Hey, you doing all right? Your son got something he want to show you, or something pleasant and positive. Man, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. You catch more flies with honey than vinegar. It is always more beneficial for a woman to have a patient, humble, sweet spirit. I'm telling you. I ain't the finest damn thing in the world, but I'm gonna tell you, I ain't never had no problem with getting no man. Never. And I don't be with men for just no months, a year, be single for years. Nah. I gets me a man real quick, and my shit lasts for years. For years. Because I'm a good woman. And I'm very patient and understanding with my man, and I require patience and understanding as well, because I'm not perfect. You know? I listen to what they have to say. You know, I'm not promiscuous. I'm not always shopping. I'm very satisfied. You know, you have to learn how to be satisfied with what you have. You know, some of y'all got these, and the Bible say you have wanton eyes, meaning your eyes always going to and fro, worrying about the next person, wanting what the next person has. That's a greedy and very selfish trait. Be satisfied with what you got. Be satisfied with who God sent and put in your life. You know, when my husband got cancer, he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma cancer. And we found out because he fell in the bathroom and broke his back. And 3 of his vertebrae crushed on top of one another. And my husband is now shorter than me. And that was like always one of my things. Oh, God, I don't want no man that's shorter than me. Okay, so now my husband's shorter than me. Okay, and on top of that, he done lost a lot of weight, so he's smaller than I am, and you know, it's just different. He's not the same dude that I came here physically that I remember. But does that, am I supposed to like change or turn my back on him or make him feel some type of way? Nah. I'm gonna still respect him like he taller than me. I'm gonna still love him the same way, support him, and I'm gonna respect him as a man, because I don't think that he required anything less. A man don't need you to be his mama. He wants you to respect him like you respect that white man at the church, at the job. He wants you to, if he asks you to do something, he wants you to do it. If he tell you he don't like something, that mean that he don't fucking like it, so don't do it. It ain't real hard. You just got to learn to accept authority. And that's something that we definitely have a problem doing as women. Because we want to be the man, the woman, the boy, the girl, the this. When you need to stay in your lane and just finish becoming a woman. Because in your role alone is so much power. You know, you have untapped resources of woman power that you don't even acknowledge, because you're so busy not even tapping into that, because you're too busy tapping into all your thought hole powers. Y'all on them thought hole powers, them shits, y'all on them like 10 and 12. Those be on 9. You know? That thought hole power, that 304 thought hole power be supercharged. That gets everything. You know? That gets everything going. And we'll be back after this message. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast. I am that average woman speaking to you now, Miss Nicole. Coming at you today with some words for wisdom and words for thought. You know, you can take it or you can leave it, or you can keep it and utilize it, and you will get some good success. You know, a lot of us want things. Wants recognition for doing things that you're supposed to do. Like cooking and cleaning. Listen, that comes with being a woman. If you a woman and you could lay around the house and your house is filthy, get your ass up and clean up, because that's trifling. And that is not a woman. That's that little girl stuff. And men do judge you by your cleanliness. Men do judge you by your cleanliness, because really most men aren't filthy. I mean, they have their issues, but men aren't filthy. Filthiness is definitely not a woman trait. So if you got a filthy ass house, I don't even know what you're doing. You definitely need to go home right now and clean up. If you need some advice on how to keep your house clean, I got a ton of videos. I got about 8 videos about keeping each room in your house clean on my YouTube channel. You can just type Nicole Archer on YouTube and it's there. How to keep your house clean. It's not real hard. You just have to have a good sanitation program going on in your house to make sure that it stay that way. Now, I'm gonna touch on something else too that just strictly my opinion. You know, strictly my opinion and everything. You know, once you have a kid, like I said, once you have a kid from a man, you know, you don't have to be his enemy. You don't have to drag him in the dirt. You don't have to be upset because he don't want you, because you just don't have to do that. You can take the high road. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you women go out here and you make your baby daddy an enemy, you become unattractive. You become unattractive to the next man. I'm telling you, you become real unattractive to the next man, because who want that headache? It's already bad enough that they taking on that headache with you and somebody else's child, right? That's already the first part. But when you got a funky ass attitude on top of all that, why would a man want to deal with you? You already have a child. I told you, the biggest mistake that you could possibly make is becoming a baby mama without any thought to it. Without a thought to it. You know, you got to think about these things, ladies. It's not, a child is one of the most greatest gifts you could give somebody. But some men aren't there yet. They aren't there yet. So when you start hollering about, I'm going to have a baby from this cat, is he there yet? Is he there? And if he isn't there, why are you fucking with him? And if you are fucking with him, why aren't you fucking him with protection? Because clearly he's not there yet. And then we get mad and hurt and depressed because we see him being an asshole, or we see him not rising up to the occasion. It takes men 30 years to even figure their shit out. 30 years, especially if they didn't have no man in their life. See, that's what y'all fail to understand. See, it's already bad enough that you didn't have a woman in your life to guide you, to get you the way you need to be, so that you stable-minded and can bring this man on through the woods. But see, you fucked up. So you can't bring him through the woods if your mentality all backwards. You can't understand his traumas and his insecurities and things he need to work on if you wasn't steered in the right direction yourself. How can the blind help the blind? You can't. The Bible says if the blind lead the blind, both of them fall in the ditch. So that's why y'all relationships don't work out, because you're not equipped to deal with a man that young. So you have no business giving your body to him. And you're not giving him your body with the intention of you being together. You're just giving him your body because that's just what hoes do. And it's very tacky. And it ain't nothing else. I told you, if you run around here and you holler about I'm horny all the time, that's a hoe trait. Okay? If your libido is extremely high, you need to calm that thing down by finding something else to do. Because all this hypersexual shit is what's getting us in trouble as a people. You need to cover up. I think that if more women begin to cover themselves up, it will remove the hypersexuality from our society to an extent. Start covering up. If you want a man to want you for something other than your assets, cover up. Be more modest. Let your essence as a woman speak for itself. You remember our Mother Earth, Goddess, and all this shit. Don't nobody notice that beyond the tights and the ass cheeks all hanging out the back. Can't nobody see none of that shit. The titties, all that shit in their face. They don't see none of that. None of that. All they see is a whore's uniform. And if you're dressed like a whore, guess what they're going to assume? You're a whore. You're going to whoring. You're a 304. And don't nobody want to be misconstrued for a 304. Everybody want to at least pretend like they're a lady. But some of y'all can't even do that, because I told you wear the badge with too much pride. And you try to justify it. If you taking thirst trap pictures half naked on the internet, yes, you is a thought. Yes, you is thirsty. No, that is not cute. Especially if you got a man. Don't nobody need to see. Ain't nothing wrong with posting a little cute picture, but a lot of that shit is just y'all being thirsty. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing. And you know why you so thirsty? Because when you finally do get a man, you don't know how to treat him. You don't know how to respect him. You play yourself, and then you lose him. All y'all hollering about, I want an alpha male. The first thing you got to know about an alpha male is that an alpha male has rules. An alpha male has rules. An alpha male does not like to be rejected. An alpha male does not like to be competed, challenged, and all that shit. I'm telling you, you a dead fish in the water, thinking that you ready to deal with an alpha male. All that constant female affirmation. Oh, I need constant affirmation who I am. Alpha men don't like that shit. So you can hang all that up. When you come ready to deal with an alpha male, you better have yourself together, because the alpha male is not entertaining your feelings, and this is most men. They're not entertaining your feelings. If you still broken from your mama and all that problems and shit you had when you was growing up, they ain't about to help you heal from that shit. You better heal from that on your own, then come holler at them. These men got things going on and they got problems of their own. So what the hell make you think they want to deal with you and your bullshit? You understand? No, I know you don't. Because you think I'm crazy for saying what I'm saying, and I'm not. Because I end up finding me an alpha male found me and made me his woman. I ain't had no say-so in the matter. And that's another thing that I found out too about. You don't get to pick the man you want. The man who wants you, he picks you. And you need to learn, when that man pick you, you need to learn to be cool. And if I'm not saying you can't have no attraction and all this other stuff, but keep your priorities straight. Okay? Like I said before, if you want whatever you want out of a man, make a list. Write everything you want down out of a man. And out of that list of all them traits you want, pick 5. And out of them 5, you might get 3. If you get 3 out of 5, you balling. If you get 2 out of 5, you doing good. If you get 1 out of 5, you better take that, because you doing good. Ain't nobody asking you to fit their mold. Nobody asking you to fart fairy dust and be all magical and mystical. But we always want to ask something of somebody else that we're not even willing to give. We want understanding and we want love and we want this and want that. But what are we giving somebody else? Nothing but a hard time and some bubble gum. And everybody tired of that old coochie. That thing is woe out. You done had enough sex to last you for 3 lifetimes and you still worrying about when you gonna get some more. Ain't it time to turn that shit off? Don't you want something better? A man don't want no freak. Nothing but in the sheets, maybe. And then that's susceptible to the man. All men are not the same. You gotta listen and learn and understand your man when you finally get one. A lot of y'all messed up with your kids, daddy. A lot of y'all got the opportunity to fix that, but you won't. Especially you women who got their first sons. A lot of times when you give a man his first son, that man usually love you forever. But a lot of y'all just so wretched. Y'all run the man away, take his son, turn his son into who knows what for who knows why. And then you look at like, I didn't do nothing wrong. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because women can't raise kids by themselves. Women cannot raise kids by themselves. They shouldn't be able to raise kids by themselves because we emotional, we stress, and we taking on too much. I don't even understand why y'all choose to work 40 hours a week and bust y'all ass and everything for a master that don't even deal with y'all. These white folks don't like us on these jobs, period. They don't like us on these jobs, but we give them our whole life. And I mean we all as women, I'm not excluding any race. We all give the job our life, and we give our kids, the job get 75%, the kids get 5%, and everything else get whatever left. The other 20 is divided, right? But then you wonder why you so miserable and why you don't feel fulfilled. You don't feel fulfilled because you're giving all your life away to the job. I asked a question the other day. What's the difference between a hoe and a woman that works 40 hours a week? The hoe pay taxes. The hoe don't pay taxes. That's the only difference. Because you have put a price on yourself. You said that $12 an hour is enough for you to buy me and take me away from my family. That's how you should look at that. Your time is everything. It's nothing worth your time. Nothing in these streets. I wouldn't mind giving a little bit of my time to make sure my kids have what they need. But you know what? The best thing I'm going to give my kids is another parent. Somebody to help me. I need somebody to love me. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the best person in the world. I fall short. So I want somebody there to love and be there for me. And I'm going to love and be there for them. And we both going to love and be there for the kids. Whoever working, take care of the house and love the house and do whatever need to be done. Whoever working, all the money comes into the house and supports the house. Whoever working, the other one is going to support the house and do whatever they need to do and pick up the slack. We're going to work together as a team. We're not going to badmouth one another. We're not going to front on one another. We're not going to do none of that shit. We're not going to do none of that. Okay? That's what we're not going to do. But y'all don't understand that. Like, because to give yourself to something other than what you want is just not even in your vocabulary. It's not even in your word bank because you don't even understand it. And I do apologize because I know I went on long, but I want you to understand where we're going wrong in thinking. Our ways of thinking has got to change in order for us to elevate. We have been lied to, and the shit that we doing don't work. You got to make a total 360-degree change and go in the opposite direction of the foolishness that you have been taught. You have to forget about all these traditions, all these customs, all these sayings, all this everything, because none of that shit works. You need to introduce yourself to a breath of fresh air, some positivity, and something that is really going to get you some results. And that's where I come in at. Okay? I hope that my intentions are met with appreciation and gratitude. And if they're not, don't matter, because I'm going to say what I got to say any damn way. So it don't matter. You can't cancel me because I ain't got shit. And I'm doing this straight because of the Bible verse Titus 2:3. The aged woman, I am instructed as an older woman to teach the young women to be chastened, to be keepers of home, to teach you how to love your husband, how to love your kids, so the word of God is not blasphemed. And I'm not gonna let that happen on my watch. I am the Aged Woman Podcast because I am an aged woman. You know, and I am an average woman because I'm the everyday woman that you see out there at the grocery store who really not worrying about what this world got going on. She going home to her family to take care of them because that's what's important to her. But I hope I was able to help you, and until next time, just want to say peace and shalom.